When you think about storing items in Minecraft, you probably imagine something along these lines. Hoppers feeding items or shulker boxes full of items into double chests, and possibly, if you are a little bit more advanced, chaining these things together like this, or in some S shape, or the stuff I showed in my previous video. What if I told you this is not the only option? The other option to store items, especially when it comes to storing shulker boxes of items at a large scale, is putting them into lines or some kind of curves made out of droppers. So this works very comparably, but instead of having to unlock and lock hoppers and then throwing item in there, you either have hoppers feeding into this or some other system, other dropper lines, and you simply put the item in and you trigger with, for example, observers, all of these droppers here, and now the item ends up in this one. Of course, when this one fills up, and then it continues into the next one, and so on. And if all you do when you want to empty this is you can either trigger it again or trigger at least the first one. That depends on your sort of setup. We now trigger it. You can see we get a hopper at the end. So instead of unlocking it to work, we send the signal to it for it to work. So this is generally a little bit more complicated to wrap your head around, since technically hopper locking is not necessary. However, this may have some advantages, especially the fact that, as you probably know already, hoppers, even when doing nothing, actually cause lag. And even locked hoppers. And I'll show you that right now. I have a lag test set up here. This is a 100 by 100 plane of locked hoppers. As you can see, they are in fact locked, which wasn't as easy to do as you might think, because for some reason the game didn't want to update them. And let's do the measurement using carpet mode to determine how many milliseconds per tick it takes for the server. This is currently the Protech Creative Multiplayer server. It's on the version 1.18. So let's try. If you remember the last video, we had an idle lag of approximately 2.3 milliseconds per tick. As usual, let's do 5 of them. So it seems to be something over 5 milliseconds. That actually was pretty low. So yeah, something like 5 milliseconds per tick. That's quite a bit. Let's see how it compares to having a similar size in terms of capacity setup of droppers. This is also a very favorable layout because I don't have the double chests here. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically 6 of them would be equivalent to one double chest, but there is some storage capacity in the hopper itself. So to make it fair, I just use 7 droppers per hopper double chest pair. Okay. Well, let's now, you can see it was exactly 70,000 blocks. Let's do the test again. Yeah, this is very close to effectively idle lag. So yeah, droppers not doing anything seem to in fact not cause almost any lag. However, there is one issue. This has been a problem in the older versions where the more tile entities, or rather tile entities with inventories you had in your world, the more it would lag when you would move around blocks with pistons. So I have here a setup. This 16 by 12 of pushing blocks in between two sets of pistons at a 4-game tick clock. So let's run this. Let's do 5 tests. So around 4 milliseconds per tick. It seems that Mojang did indeed fix this, because if we would now clean this up, or let's first replace it with the hoppers again. We already know it should be less, but let's just double check. You can see now sometimes they might not update. Actually, it seems like they did it this time. So yeah. Okay, nice. And let's run the thing again. This is not even filling the hoppers with containers above them. Like I said, there's a very favorable test relative to the for the hoppers. So let's try the health again. Oof, 9. But that's fairly reasonable, since that's approximately 5 milliseconds plus another. Well, actually, no, this is even more. Because without this machine, for the droppers, it only added like 2 milliseconds per tick. Here it seems to be adding even more. Okay, so this seems fairly conclusive. I'll also delete this so we can have a baseline test without anything. 100% with them, which is, if you would fill that with shulker boxes, that's over a billion items stored in your storage system. Actually, yeah, this seems to be slightly lower, actually. So there is a little bit of lag. It's still cozy. But it's not much. This is very nice, because this means a few things for a lot of other machines, where you might need to add a dropper or not. And let's do one more test, where we compare the lag caused by, as I have previously shown, updating torches and updating droppers. Because this is the most efficient way to unlock hoppers. So let's see how it compares. I'll do 100 of them. Or better, let's do just 50, so it is more comparable to what I did in my last test. And yes, I'm sorry that you have to watch this, but I don't have a setup prepared that would build this by itself, and I did not want to cut the video. Okay, that did not work. I just love Minecraft sometimes. So I'll just place this manually. Thankfully I decided to do it with only 50. This may seem rather unimpactful to some of you. Like, yeah, sure, this will not fundamentally change your gameplay. But it is very important in storage tech to understand what is the better option. Because how else are you supposed to assess a machine? Sure, you could just build 1,000 different designs and compare them against each other, but that is rather foolish. Like, first of all, you are a human, you probably have only limited time in your life, and secondly, there are way more than 1,000 possible designs. If you think about it, there are probably billions. Just even if it's a tiny shulker box loader. So if you can simply look at a machine and assess, okay, this setup is less laggy than the other one, it is already a massive improvement. For example, it is already known that using a hopper line that is just unlocked is more efficient than a dropper line. But the question here is unlocking it at the, let's say, said before 16 game tick interval. Oh, 16 probably. Is that realistic? But it's still better than nothing. Okay, actually I have to replace this. Because I just realized this will double trigger the droppers if I do that. And yes, technically there is probably some sort of command I could use. But let's be honest, finding that command will take me way longer than just doing this. Okay, so the setup is ready. Okay, so first let's do it without the droppers. If you're wondering about the observers, they cause very little lag. Let's wait for it to reach the end. Okay, /tick health. About 4. Slightly over 4.4. Again, approximately 4. 4.3. 4. Let's see what last one. 4.13. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, that is very similar to last time. Let's try this. I will just have to wait for it. I guess I could even fly over. Okay, it's already reached the end. .8. This is pretty conclusive. Honestly, I didn't expect that 50 blocks to be this much of a difference. The server isn't that fast. So this is just an auxiliary server. 2.9, 3, 2.8. So yeah, this is a lot more efficient. Let's now do this for more of the droppers. So I'll just copy this. Let's do it for 7 times more. Slash copy. So 3 layers, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a lot of observers, so this might already get slower. But it's assuming we are literally triggering the entire storage. It's probably already reached the end. Okay. Okay, this doesn't want to cooperate. This is the sad reality of a lot of tools for Minecraft. They just don't properly work. What happened there, some of the observers got stuck in a permanently on state. Okay, now it works. Okay, great. Yeah, 3 milliseconds per tick. Even though I multiplied the amount of droppers 7 times, the lag did not multiply 7 times. This is one of the things I always talk about when it comes to lag in this game. It's not linear. Multiple times more things being triggered doesn't mean multiple times more lag. 3.5 almost. So it seems to be around 3.1. Now again 3.5, so maybe there is some fluctuation in 3 and 3.5. 3.2.5. Who knows, this testing interval isn't very long. But yeah, 3.5 seems a little bit more believable, since it should have been more. Yeah, so I hope this finally cleared up the question that bothered me and a lot of people for many years, and that's what to include in your storage system. And right now it seems that making your storage system practically entirely out of droppers might just be the best option. Like there is not really much of a reason to unlock and hoppers unless you maybe have some sort of bulk storage that is just like permanently unlocked and it's just like constantly running and like at a high speed of an item every 8 game ticks. But other than that, just use droppers. I'm honestly impressed by Mojang because in 1.12 this was definitely not nearly as effective. I hope you like the effort I put into these videos and research, and of course like the video on YouTube, comment your ideas, improvements, issues with what I have done, and of course share it with others. I make these videos so as many people as possible can know about this. I could have just kept this secret, honestly, and it would have been easier. So yeah, have a nice day.